Hey everyone, so we wanted to take a couple moments here and kind of just give you a little bit of an inside look at why Tara and I do what we do. So I've been on this journey a really long time. I was doing it prior to meeting her, and that was really recognizing that I was the main cause of my health concerns. I was the leading reason to why my body was not performing the way I wanted it to. And I found nutrition response testing at 27 years of age. So I was a few years into my journey when I met her, but I had already seen the power of what the work could do for not only my body, but as becoming a practitioner, what it could do for my patients. So I was already sold, hook, line, and sinker. It became a passion, not a hobby, but a passion. It was all it's all I've done. In the past 10 years of my life, I've done nothing but nutrition response testing. I have taken no pharmaceutical intervention. I do not have a doctor. I haven't even put a Tylenol or an Advil in my body. It is strictly nutrition response testing that is the product of my health today. And when I met my wife, who is medically trained physician assistant, we were a little polar opposite. So I'm sure you probably looked at me and said, boy, what am I getting into? Is this guy out of his mind? What am I doing? And maybe that's why it took you 3 weeks to call me back.
3 weeks?
How long did it take?
It was a couple months, I think.
Well, I waited, but I got her. And needless to say, when we came together, it was, I think maybe a little eye-opening that somebody was as passionate about the topic as I was, but is complete polar opposite to your formal education.
Sure, it was definitely eye-opening as I found out what it was and looked it up and just kind of started to have an understanding of what this was all about. I had to get rid of that chip on my shoulder that I'm a PA and I went to school and, I kind of know everything. And over the years, I've really come to understand that you're just never done learning, and there are just other ways to handle situations and get people well. And I think that's ultimately why we're so passionate about it, is because we've both seen such huge differences in being patients of this practice that it's so rewarding to empower other people to do the same, to take ownership of their well-being, to take ownership of their body, to not put their health in someone else's hands, but to be teammates with us and how we get people feeling better.
And I don't want it to be antagonistic, because all things have a time and a place, and I think that in the emergency phase, and the trauma phase, and the acute phase, what Western medicine can do is absolutely glorious. If heaven forbid I left here today and I got into a car accident, please take me to an emergency room. That is where the most beautiful side of Western medicine is. But unfortunately, I think you'd agree with me that that's not where the main game is played. The arena is much more into the chronic state, and it's a prescribe for this, prescribe for that. Because I remember real quick into our relationship, you did tell me that her first job out of PA school was with the Buffalo Bills. So she was very much in the thick of prescribe, inject. And it's never left me that you told me that wasn't why you got into medicine. You didn't want to be a pill pusher and an injection giver.
Yeah, so before I went back to PA school, I was an athletic trainer, and I loved working in that arena. I loved dealing with the acute injuries and managing the athletes and getting them back on the field and getting them to heal the right way and supporting them in that way. And when I worked in internal medicine my first year, it was just a struggle to deal with people that were, again, just wanted that quick fix and wanted medications and didn't really want to, you could see them kind of zone out when I start talking about, well, what are you eating? What do you do for exercise? And it was just, most people just don't want to hear about that. As far as the acute setting goes, I agree. I still work in orthopedics. If you fall outside and break your wrist and it's not in a good position, you need to come see me so I can put it back together.
We can't fix that at Synergy Nutrition and Wellness. That's something we can't
do. Then you come see us at Synergy Nutrition so we can aid in that healing process. But certainly there are the situations where you need acute management of your care. The problem is that so much is we're managing chronic issues that are diseases of lifestyle. It's a lot different than simply falling in the parking lot and breaking your wrist. That can happen to the healthiest of us.
And that's really what fueled a lot of the purpose of the intention of Synergy Nutrition and Wellness. Our mission was to take responsibility for our community, because anybody who has a chronic health concern, whether you realize this or not, you are subconsciously or unintentionally saying, I am out of control. Something in my diet, something in my lifestyle is out of control. So we said, having gone through this with the knowledge that we have, with the skill set that we have, we are going to be the ones to take responsibility for our community, and we are going to be able to be there as teachers, guiders, and educators to awaken them to the ability and the possibilities that they have in their body. And that's what we have created here. We've created a community, a family atmosphere, and I've got an incredible staff. We've got my wife on staff, who's a physician's assistant, medically trained. I have another practitioner, her name is Tracy Fleischman. She has been a nurse practitioner and an RN for 30 years. We just brought on another new practitioner. Her name is Maria McKendry. She was a PT for 20 plus years, and she owns a physical fitness studio as well. And my first associate, who's been with me the longest, is a man named Andy Benson, who has a master's in exercise science. I actually met him because he worked with Tara. And I met all of these people for one common denominator. I don't feel purpose in my work. I don't feel purposeful in being a symptom manager, a suppressor of the symptom. So all of these glorious, well-educated medical minds still do their dance in the acute phase with those things, but they've come on board and become staff members with us at Synergy Nutrition and Wellness. And I think that the combination of what we have here between my belief, my passion, and their educated minds, we have an unparalleled team that can support you and really improve the quality of your health because of the mix of Eastern and Western minds that we have here.
For sure. And I think it's great. We all kind of have our little niche. So I run the fitness studio that we own as well. So I'm able to talk to patients a little bit more about exercise and how that can benefit them. Tracy's an ER nurse practitioner, so she's able to pull patients from the ER for us as well and get them out of that chronic situation. But she's medically trained. She understands medications and things that patients might come in talking about. So that's great. Andy was an athletic trainer as well, and he's a phenomenal cook. So we have just all these great sources of information, and we can all benefit you because we're a team. We're all here to support you in your goals, and there's just a lot of ways for us to be able to do that for you.
And like she said with Tracy, for me, that's an invaluable service that we have, or an ability, I should say, that we have, because in my office, we do not treat or diagnose, nor do we have the legal ramification to ever talk about a medication. That's only something that can be done through the attending physician or the appropriate licensed medical personnel. But somebody like Tracy, who understands these things, who is a licensed medical personnel, who has the ability to talk medications, what a beautiful scenario to come into an environment that is designed to help you heal, but know that this medication can start to be reduced, or this medication can be removed, or this conversation needs to be had with your physician. So we really have the ability to encompass total understanding and comfort regarding where you are to where you want to become. If you are looking for further information or further help in your quest to better health, please check us out at Synergy Nutrition and Wellness, because we do have an unparalleled team like nothing you will ever find.
See you soon.